Finally, it's time. So I know people are always saying it's time, the end is nigh, some date is approaching, but there are times in the history of humanity and the history of the planet that are critical. You know, the moon landing and Copernicus and splitting of the atom. And what's ahead in 2020 is an amazing, remarkable time. So this video is an invitation and encouragement to feel into what's coming down and to prepare for it in the best way that we can, which is to come back to our center and to our love and to our power and to our freedom and find a way of meeting what's coming. So you don't have to believe me because you just know that it's true. Somewhere in the heart, anyone who's done their soul work can feel the soul of the world is stirring. Like, there is change coming. And we don't know what that change is going to look like yet. It will be revelation. A power is emerging that we don't have reference points for yet. You know, and the world at the end of 2020 is going to look different than the world at the beginning. I don't know how exactly yet, but I have some ideas about the when and the where of the crisis that's ahead of us that can help. So one of the first things to realize is that in times of great crisis, it's natural human reaction to go into one of two extremes. One is fear, because change is happening and we're afraid of losing the status quo and of the things that we know, even if those things aren't working for us. So fear and control is kind of one side of the response. And the other side is to kind of get possessed and taken over by the revolution of change, of like wanting there to be change at all costs, no matter what, even if it's the total upturning of everything. And neither of those have really great outcomes, as human history has shown. So this video is an encouragement for a third way, the way of wild love, the way of trusting that we were born for such a time, that humanity has come to a point where the civilization that we've run, the software is so out of date that we don't know what's coming, but we can trust that it's emerging from the core of our being if we trust our own center, if we trust each other, and if we enter into this time from a spirit of being able to meet it, of joyful enthusiasm in the face of crisis, knowing that this crisis is absolutely necessary. It's unprecedented in human history to get to a point where everything matters together. The whole of the planet, all of the kingdoms of nature are invested in this crisis, producing something new, not just a reorientation of the old, or a shifting of deck chairs on the Titanic, or a reliance on technology or consciousness or a bunch of people to kind of come up with a solution on behalf of all of us. It actually requires a fundamental shift in human beings from reliance on their mind linked to their fear of death, to a reliance on the love and freedom at the core of the human spirit that's linked to much more than the survival of humanity, that's linked to the planet itself, that's linked to cosmos. This force, this power is going to reveal itself through human beings. And this year ahead is a watershed year in human history. So this video is an encouragement to prepare and to be part of the thing that you incarnated for and that is upon us right now. So in order for the new to emerge, it's got to come through the cracks in the old. And so where are these cracks that are going to let this new dark light in? They start in December this year, you know, just a month away. They start with a Christmas eclipse. And one of the amazing things about eclipses is they've always represented times where the masses turn towards the heavens, even if they're just, you know, going to see the eclipse of the sun as a scientific observation. We turn our attention to that which is bigger than us, as above, so below. And there's already an incredible miracle just at the sun and the moon. We have them both in the sky, different distances, they overlap. They even can eclipse as a statistical miracle. But they represent something powerful in the human psyche. The sun representing consciousness and pure reason, and the moon representing more our unconscious and our feminine, our flow. And this battle between sun and moon has epitomized civilization for thousands of years now. So we start on an eclipse. And all of the planets are in Capricorn, or many of them are Capricorn at the start of this year. In fact, Capricorn is a big year. Capricorn is the energy of matter and earth and structure and economics and power. So all of the transformation that's going on the planet hasn't yet hit the root. It hasn't yet hit the financial and legal and political structures that control the old civilization. So those are going to come under transformation. This is the year 2020, and then in January, we move into a Pluto-Saturn conjunction. The last time this happened in Capricorn here was 500 years ago, about the time of Copernicus, and it's as powerful a potential for revolution. When Copernicus said that the earth went around the sun, and the church and the political systems were all challenged to put the sun at the center, to put consciousness and reason and enlightenment and awareness at the center. So that transformation of 500 years ago is coming again. Pluto and Saturn. Pluto represents the revolution, the upwelling of birth and rebirth, of death and restructuring, and Saturn represents structure and civilization that has been, prepared now for hundreds and thousands of years, and that is going to be broken. So how it gets broken is going to play out next year. One of the ways it can get broken is through war or revolution, or like global rebellion against climate change, or we don't know what it's going to look like, but the fundamental cracking and breaking of the power structures of the world are going to begin in January. And so that flow through from January, meets its high point probably in June at the solstice. One of the important things to get about the solstice is that at this time in evolution, our solstices line the solar system up with the center of the galaxy. So if you think of Copernicus, realizing that the earth went around the sun, and that changed everything when we put the sun at the center of civilization. When we realize that the sun goes around the center of the galaxy every 240 million years, the sun of the sun, the greatest sun, is this dark black hole, void, mystery that now has to sit at the center of any kind of civilization. Not a sun, not a bright star, not somebody who knows the answers, not a God who'll tell us what to do, but the divine mystery of cosmos that sits at the core of a galaxy has to also sit at the core of civilization. So on June 21st, 2020, a one-time event occurs, which is an alignment between the center of the galaxy and the axis of the solar system, so that on the solstice, the sun and the moon and the earth and the center of the galaxy are all in an alignment. This is like an alignment of the chakra systems of all of the major players in our cosmic party. So this represents an opportunity for mass awakening, a mass change that is unprecedented. At the same time, this is an eclipse. So the sun is eclipsed by the moon in an annular solar eclipse at the same time as solstice, sunrise, and the alignment with the galactic center. Earth is aligned with the galactic center. So what that represents is that a deep challenge to the solar myth that lives at the heart of our civilization, and the beginning of the replacement of that with the dark energy, the void energy, the black hole energy, the energy of pure spirit and pure matter alike, that will signal a total change in the way, what orientating principle we have at the core of our life. So for all of those people who have already made that journey into the mystery, who have moved away from trusting just their minds and have moved through their heart into a direct, living, vibrational relationship with their divine nature, this is the time when that is going to begin to emerge in our wider culture. So the June solstice event is a big trigger point. And at the same time, instead of Pluto conjuncting Saturn, Pluto conjuncts Jupiter, which is the heart. So remember I said before, the two major reactions to this kind of transit are going to be fear and control on the side of the status quo, rebellion and revolution on the side of those who just want to upturn everything. But there's a third way, and that way we're calling wild love. And that third way can get triggered by the Pluto-Jupiter conjunction, which is an explosion of the heart. And when the heart explodes, we remember that what we truly came to Earth for was to love, not to survive at all costs, but to love. And so those who are here as that love, for that love, can begin to make themselves visible all over the planet. So the Wild Love Tour is an idea of touring, with events through Europe from Glastonbury back to the root, really, of music festivals, which is in Delphi, the navel of the world. So a group of us are going to go on a journey through Europe for 3 months. And the encouragement is all over the world, wherever you are, if you want to take time to emerge as the love that you are, this is the time. 2020 is the time. The whole year from December to December is the window. But in particular, if you can just take some time, take it from solstice in June 21st through to September 21st. That window from the solstice to the equinox is going to be an opportunity for the lovers of the world to show that there is already a new culture. There's already a new civilization that has been birthing itself since the 60s underneath everything, waiting for the cracks in the old culture to emerge and shine through. And so we finish this unprecedented year of change with another eclipse, total solar eclipse on December 14th, followed on December 21st at the time of the solstice by a conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn. This is called the Grand Conjunction, and it represents an opportunity for new civilization. It happens at 0 degrees Aquarius, and for those who are into astrology and the Aquarian age and so on, many people think this may be the moment or the time that the Aquarian age definitely begins. Certainly, this whole year of 2020 is an unprecedented opportunity for radical change of civilization. So if your heart is calling you and is giving you those impulses that this is an important time, and actually surviving and doing all of the things to survive and ensure your future is not as important as your heart emerging at this time. It's a radical time for the planet. Like, if humanity's heart does not emerge at this time, if we do not show up as the love that we are, we all know the obvious consequences to our environment and to our economy. We know the system doesn't work, and we know that where we're going is unsustainable. But this encouragement is to have faith in the human spirit, to have faith in something greater than our minds to figure out the answer, to find that swell of energy in our heart that says, yes, I was fucking born for this. This is my time to emerge. I don't know how it's going to look, but I know if I ride out to meet it, if I meet it with my love and the freedom and the core of my being, if I join forces with other people who are also feeling this, then at least we live something really worthwhile through this time of change. We are often way more capable of showing up for crisis than we think we are. And Earth is in crisis, humanity is in crisis, and therefore we need the human spirit in its deepest creative connection to love and source. We need the wild innocence and wild love of humans to walk towards these crises that are ahead of us and to come out the other side with a seed for a new civilization. There are a lot of people saying that it's too late, that we've disconnected from the sacred, that we've lost the soul of the world, and that basically it's just time to lament as we try to party ourselves into obliteration. I don't believe that. I don't think that's ever been borne through by human history. I think we are here alive on the planet today because humans have resources inside them that are beyond just human. We have resources because we are life itself, and we are that life's longing for itself and to replenish itself and renew itself. So we've survived. Humans have survived. They've been great at surviving. Now it's time to truly live the love and the freedom that we are. So 2020 is an opportunity unprecedented for doing that. And if you want to connect with other people who are doing that, if you want to connect with the Wild Love movement, if you want to connect with each other, just reach out. We have this amazing thing called social media and Facebook. We have powers that the system can't take away. We have the power of the human spirit. It's our time to prove it.